right, welcome everybody. It is a Bloody Metal Monday today, everybody. All you can do when it gets this rough is smile and keep moving. How you doing, Brett?
I'm taking your advice.
Yeah.
I'm smiling and keep it moving.
Yeah.
No, I guess on a days like today, you just know that you're back in the scrap business again.
Mhm.
You know, they're gonna give you some good days where they're gonna give you some love, and then you're gonna get some of these days where you're like, well, that was a good one.
Mhm.
That was a good run while it lasted.
So, copper's down 15 cents on the COMEX today, but that is not the whole picture. It's fallen
That's 3
40
trading days.
40 cents,
Yeah.
50 cents, 40
Well,
cents.
it got up to 480, just shy
Yeah.
of 485 or something like that.
So we're down close to 40 cents.
Yeah.
From a week from
Close
last
to when
Monday.
I was pounding the drum that we were going to get to $5, and I was pretty excited about taking $100 from you.
Mm-hmm. Well, we still got a few days. I've seen some crazier shit happen.
Yeah,
it moves in a hurry.
It definitely feels like right now it's like everybody's kind of in panic mode, or like everybody's kind of nervous about, is this now where these things start to turn and go the other way after what really has probably been like a good 2-year run.
Been about 2 years.
Roughly.
We've had a really good run for 2 years, which in the scrap industry to have a run like that for 2 years, I mean, it's inevitable for it to kind of come back to earth. Now, if you see, and I've been saying this for a long time, but if you see these natural ebbs and flows where it just kind of stays here at 440 and then and that's your new low.
Yeah.
And then that could be where this thing really does continue to get to $5 this year. Or if we see like 2012 when it really tumbled. Are we going to see 2012 again?
Yeah, I think I don't know. We'll see.
No.
I mean, I hope not, but I mean, I at the end of the day, I guess we do what we do. I mean, I don't know how you anticipate that or judge that, but I mean, you still have to think there's still a lot of money floating in the system. Other than right now, I think everybody's kind of nervous about the interest rates coming up. Is that going to take some steam out of the economy? I think it is. I feel like that's definitely. But is it like a healthy break? Like for some things, I think it is. I mean, for the
Well, that's
long
why they're
term,
doing it,
in
right?
for the long term success, yeah. But I also think you're never gonna interest rate this thing up to where it should be in the whole grand scheme of things, because we've put so much debt down that all you're doing is creating a bigger debt payment by jacking the interest rate, right? So
True.
at some point, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of like trying to talk the market off versus actually putting in and implementing these big rate changes. So if they feel like they can talk it down before they actually have to, do these 3 or to 7 half-point raises, I mean, we'll see. But that's definitely taken some gas out of the commodities. For sure this morning, I think everything was rough. Friday, everything was pretty rough as well.
Thursday,
right?
Friday, today, everything was red.
Yeah.
PGMs included. The catalytic converter pricing going to be taking a big hit, and copper, as we discussed, took a big hit. Aluminum's down. I mean, considerably. Like not.
Yeah,
it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. The biggest thing is just making sure from an inventory standpoint, like on the scrap side and then the base metals, is trying to manage your inventory,
And that's where, as people that manage scrap yards and work for scrap yards, not the people selling to them,
yeah,
that's where we get hung out to dry sometimes. We buy all this material, and some people don't realize, like, we're accruing a fair amount of risk.
That's where guys like Pete Thomas get phone calls today.
Yep, Pete is probably popular.
Yeah, anybody that's in the hedge business, or people that are hedged, they probably feel pretty decent about stuff that they've bought and sold today. And now the biggest thing is going to be, like anything, is so you've bought and you've hedged and you've done all this stuff. Can you logistically get the material out the door, right? And we keep, I think 2022 was kind of a year where just logistics were heavily discussed. I think 2022 might even be a messy logistic year than 2021 was. I mean, I know of a lot of people that are having a hard time just moving iron because they're having rail car issues. And trucking is a whole nother component of its, of itself. And it's
what
just
you and Adam talked about. It's what we have in common. Like, we both invested heavily in our transportation side.
Yes.
And that was a foresight seen by your dad, And Adam said he got into it in, was it 12 or when was it?
Something like that.
Something like that.
He said he really kind of started made the decision.
So 10 years
14
ago.
or 15.
Yeah, something like that. So
to go heavily in on logistics. And I think anybody that has multiple facilities or decent volume, like your ability to control your own destiny on the freight side is big. But that's where like the rail car issues lately have come into effect because it takes a lot of trucks to move, say, 5,000 ton, right? It doesn't take nearly as the number of rail cars as it does as trucks to move 5,000
How many tons can you put in a rail car? So everybody knows.
Over here, we shoot, it's like around 100 to 105 net tons per car.
Okay.
Right? So truck, like over here, we go maxi. So maxi truck, 4-axle tractor, 4-axle trailer. If the newer ones, the lighter trucks and trailers, we can get up to 69, 70,000 if loaded out correctly. But with side kits, 65 to 67 on average.
So you're like 30 to 35 ton.
Yeah, somewhere in there. That's 30 gross, right?
Yeah.
In that range, 30, 31. So that's about our sweet
so
spot.
3 trucks to 1 rail car.
We always said 3 trucks equal 1 car.
Okay.
Roughly.
So, like, if you buy a rail and you can do it and you can get a rail car,
Yeah, if you can get the
helps,
cars.
but
and
it's a big if.
You can get them
right
out, because I think there's a lot of mills that, took orders in April that people aren't going to be able to fill. And if the market's coming down in May, all those orders are going to get wiped, right? Because that's what steel mills do. And then, so now it's going to be, what do they anticipate the market to be?
So they'll cancel those 3 because you were late, right? Those cancel those loads because you were late if you didn't get them in the right month.
Yeah. If you don't get the cars and you don't get them out, and depending on the mill depending on the mill that's receiving your material, whatever deal you make, most of it's is once that car is loaded and released and on its way. Some are the car has to deliver, has to
whatever
arrive.
rules are in your contract.
It just depends on the mill, but generally speaking, if you can't get the cars in because they just over here it's more of a UP issue, then you're kind of hung on that material because you're not going to be able to even load it this month because you're not going to see cars.
Well, things change on a dime in this industry. I mean, that's why we hang our hat on anything, anytime, anywhere the market is, we want to provide the customer with the same service. And I suggest that to any business, really. Like, when going's good, business is easier, but when things are tough, the prices suck, it's going to be on service. So you service your customer, keep them making money on what they do to make money, and you're going to continue to, see the light at the end of the tunnel,
Exactly. It's welcome to the commodities scrap business. If you don't like the volatile moves. I was having that conversation with somebody else this morning. I'm like, if you don't like this, then you better exit
in the wrong
quickly
business
because you're going to get days like this a lot. And if you can't stomach them, then you're probably barking up the wrong tree. You probably should go assemble computers or something.
Well,
or I don't know, do something that doesn't require
something that's got more stability. Maybe I like the craziness. I love when the yards are bananas. I love when the yards are crazy. I love when we got 3-4 loads going out and a crazy amount of scrap coming in. I just love the hustle and bustle. I hate when the yards are slow, and we've been busy.
A shout out, I will say this right now, a shout out to Jim Combs for handling all of our logistics, and that guy has been making it happen for us this month, last month, the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So
he's awesome.
But he's a guy that I tell my goal is to get you to put yourself out of a job for next month, get it all off the ground, right? But he wants a little bit of a buffer. Well, what am I supposed to haul at the beginning of the month? I'm like, I don't know, something else.
We'll buy something. Yeah, we'll find a job or
Yeah.
something. You know.
So shout out to the guy that tries to put himself out of a job every single month and still keeps going. And that guy for us on the logistics end, in months like this when the market's slipping and sliding, you got guys like that, and Barry for keeping the trucks running so he can keep them dispatched.
Sal for keeping us
Sal for
on
keeping
the
the local
outside
guys.
jobs, like running flawlessly. you
And
know.
not to mention every single guy that's either baling or shearing or crushing to get the loads ready to get them out the door. So, but I just want to say how much we appreciate Jim today.
Thanks,
when
Jim.
It's like this. Thanks, Jim. We love you.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, in a week, maybe we'll have some better news.
Exactly.
Okay,
Take
thanks.
care.